kind of nationally, I see Michael Irvin's involvement, but are there more guys coming back, former players?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely think you'll see a lot of more guys coming back this week. Definitely see you see the Andre Johnsons and stuff like that come back all the time. So it's definitely surreal. Like when you look up the guys and you see what guys have done before on the football field, and just to see them in the locker room, like just looking around like nothing happened. It's just surreal, and so it's just great to be a part of, and thankful for the program for sure.
What did you think of the U? What did you know of the U before you got there?
I would just say history, the history behind it. It was a team that no one wanted to face at one point, and it's definitely super exciting to be a part of something like that.
Keionte, as someone who's been able to play college football for a while now, I know there's some players these days that are filing the NCAA. Hey, I want an extra year, even threatening lawsuits. And I know Nat Chambliss, for example, has asked him for another year and thinks he could change his life. He's given it. What's your opinion on all of that?
Yeah,
trying to get that extra year.
I mean, I definitely would say it's a tricky situation. I feel like you can't necessarily say that they don't deserve the year in a way. And I feel like for me personally, because I'll speak on my situation. I feel like if you look at it in a way, me being able to get this year. I was blessed for it. So there's the amount of people that can be blessed by this extra year and what for their careers and the pivot it can take for their careers. I definitely think it's something interesting to look at, especially when there's certain situations that go on behind the scenes that no one knows about that they may or may not need the year. So I definitely think it's something that when you take a look back on it, if that opportunity presents itself that they deserve the right to get an extra year, I definitely think that that should be granted.
Yeah, I mean, Akeem was saying, this is my 6th year. You guys have been around a while. He says that if I didn't get this year, my draft stock probably wouldn't have improved as much as he did.
100%.
I mean, that's something that's really important to guys like you and him, right?
Yeah, definitely. Very grateful for the situation. I mean, this time last year I was getting ready to go to the Hula Bowl and, wasn't necessarily for sure about my future. And then, 1 year later, you just see it, fully turn. So I know me definitely, I'll stand on the pedestal and say, guys being able to grant that extra year with the right protocol and with the right, situation for that extra year, I definitely think it's a situation that they should be granted that year.
Keionte, what's it like to be on the doorstep of a semifinal game Thursday night?
Yeah, I mean, it's just surreal. I mean, walking in the stadium today, you get a visualization of, what's about to go down. And it's just something that's just crazy. Like I said before, these are football games you show your kids, that you were able to, take part in. And just the situation of, where football, like we got some guys from South Florida that have never, ever been on the West Coast before. And, football, it's just crazy, the opportunity that football grants you and this opportunity that we have has granted some guys to, be on the West Coast for the first time. So it's definitely something that we're not taking for granted, but we're just trying to stay focused and stay grounded and continue to prepare.
So added pressure in this one? Do you guys feel that, or how do you handle that?
Definitely. I feel like the pressure rises each week. I definitely think it's something that, we're not necessarily overlooking or underlooking. I definitely think it's something that we're just focused on, it's all about us, which is one of our mottos and something that we want to be about.
Yeah, when you got on the turf there, was it slick at all?
It was definitely a great playing surface. You could tell they put a lot of time into it. So it was definitely something that was great to walk around.
And there's been past instances where it's a little slick in there because they take the turf out, put it in. And
Played in a lot of big games, but not like this, not in these kind of situations. As a leader of the team, how do you feel so locked in? You were able to make that big play last week.
I would just say, sorry to cut you off, but I would just say, it's just the fact that, this is the same, it's the same football game. Obviously, the situation has, risen and the stakes are what they are. But I definitely think it's just something that, like I said, Cristobal and everybody around is doing a good job of keeping everybody focused and being in the moment. If you put too much on it, it causes anxiety and you don't want to go out there too scared. But if you don't put enough on it, then you go out there timid. So, we're just staying at that one level, just focusing on our preparation and focusing on being where we need to be.
Keionte, after you guys lost to SMU, things were pretty dire. How did you keep the faith? How did you keep going? Because it has been a different team since that day.
Yeah, I'd definitely say, we sat down and talked to each other. We had a team player-led meeting, only the players in there. We had all our leaders speak. We had, freshmen speak. We had everybody, open mic. And we just wanted to know where everybody's heads was at, with the situation of what's going on. Because at this point now, you have 2 losses in the ACC. Everybody's telling you you're trash. Everybody at one point was so high on you. Now everybody's so low on you. So it's definitely something we just had to sit down and, really just talk it out with each other. And we realized that day that if we are who we say we are, we have to be that team each and every week. And that was something that we really focused on, of just continuing to just, not shy away from the team we believe we were.
What do you think? What stands out about Trinidad Jambos on film?
I definitely think, the way he can create stands out off the rip. That's something, the way he's able to create and I feel like that's just the biggest thing that stands off, and that's something that, every quarterback doesn't have. But the way he's able to create with his legs and also with his arms combined is something that stands out.